The best-selling new knife of the year, I guarantee will surprise you, and it is in my pocket right now. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. My name's George, and today we're talking about some of the best knives of 2022, specifically the best new knives. So these all came out this year, and there are some really great ones. It's been a great year for knives, and we're coming into Q4, so these are some of the great ones to look at for maybe gifts for others for the holiday season. And we might do another one later about the best-selling overall knives of the year, but these are the new ones. And stay tuned to the end, because the best-selling new knife of the year, I guarantee will surprise you, and it is in my pocket right now. So let's get this show started with the CRKT Squid XM. Now the Squid XM is a production version of sort of a custom model from Lucas Burnley and is sort of a budget version of the SQD2, which came out last year. Now that SQD2 was a very, very nice one, made in Italy. M390 blades, fat carbon handles, really, really good looking, but they were a bit spendy. Today, you can get that same design in a $50-ish price point, and it's the Squid that you know and love, but it's blown up a little more for bigger hands or for harder work. And that's one thing I love about CRKT is they really come in and they give you an awesome knife at an awesome price that's ready for you to fall in love with knives, like I did. One of my first knives was actually the CRKT Polar. I have this one here, and I think they're kind of brothers, but we can talk more about that another day. Next up, got the Kershaw Outlier. Now, this one was a bit of a surprise. We were looking at some sales data, and this one really sold this year. And I was kind of wondering why, to be honest, because it's a Kershaw. That's awesome. We love Kershaw. They do really well every year, but it's a karambit. I have fiddled with this for a little while, and this is my theory. Tell me if I'm wrong. Karambits are actually awesome everyday carry knives. So you got a slice of grape with that stubborn skin. Not stubborn anymore, that tip will get through it. So you work in a warehouse, you gotta open boxes all day. You get in, you puncture the tape, but then look at this, the tip is above, so it's not gonna cut whatever's in your box. And then you gotta sign for a new package, just flip it over your hand, sign it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Tell me in the comments. Next up, the Tactial Bear. I believe it's Bear, I spent some time in San Antonio, B-E-X-A-R, Bear. Tell me if I'm wrong there as well. Now this one is slim pickings. Like, look how incredibly narrow this knife is. This will vanish in your pocket with no trouble at all. And this is from Tactile, which originally made pens. So if you're into pens, you've heard of Tactile turn, but you get the same texture you get on those pens on this lovely titanium handle, a nice slip joint mechanism, a Magna Cut blade. There's really not a lot bad to say about this knife, and my goodness, did you guys love it. You bought them all year long. Next knife on the table is the Benchmade Shootout. Now, this one's kind of representative of a lot of the knives that came out without at the end of them from Benchmade this year. They really did a lot of great stuff. But we picked this one because my goodness, do you guys buy this one? And seriously, for good reason. You get a really nice blade on this, crew wear, super tough, even though it's so thin and so light. You get this nice, stiff, strong carbon fiber reinforced nylon on the handle. This is an everyday carry OTF if I ever saw one, but it's also built tough. It could go to war if you needed it to. Got a nice glass breaker on the back too. Benchmade is swinging for the fence this year. They have brought some really wonderful stuff, and that is why, personally, I believe you guys bought so many Benchmades this year. And then an honorable mention in this bestsellers category is the new Hogue Deka with the CPM Magna Cut blade steel and the FRN handles. Now the Deka's been out for a few years, so it's not technically a new knife for this year, but this variation with these materials is new for this year, and it's light, and it's smooth, and it's strong. It's just a great everyday carry knife, and you guys bought a lot of them. So now we're finished with some of these best sellers. Let's move into some of your favorite knives. We asked you guys on social media, what were your favorite new knives of 2022? And you delivered with some really awesome pictures. So we're gonna talk about a few of those right now. Now the first picture we got is from @BaseMalnimer, and he's got a really lovely pocket dump here. The star of this show, I think, is that fixed blade right there. That is the Kaiser Harpoon Mini, which is a collaboration with Maverick Customs, and it was a Blade HQ exclusive. And it has a CPM 10V blade. And if you haven't heard of that, go read Knife Steel Nerd's article on it. Long story short, really great edge retention, solid toughness, and it's a fun carbon steel. These things sold out in less than a day. We had 3 different models of them, and you loved them. And I'm really jealous. I didn't get one. But Base Malnimer, lucky you. That's a really good looking pocket dump, and that Vox. it might be calling my name. Now at the end of this video, click the link in the description to find the poll and vote on which of these pictures was your favorite. Now this next picture comes from at Travis Mice on Instagram, and the knife he's rocking is a petrified fish beluga. Now when we were experimenting on bringing in petrified fish, one of the buyers brought me over one. It's like, hey, carry this for a day, and I fell in love. It's just beautiful handle, beautiful blade, a fidgety front flipper, and it's a handle that wants to go to work. Best of all, it hits that $50 price point. And I think that's gonna be a brand we're gonna see a lot of in the future. And Travis got one, and as you can see, it's dead sexy. Thanks Travis for submitting, and vote on this in the poll. Next up, we have a picture from Joe Correa over on Facebook. And this one is new for this year, but kind of not. This one's the Desert Warrior Elementum. And that thing's gonna go down in knife history, I'll tell you. I picked one up and I carry it quite often because it makes me smile every single time. And that is something that a lot of knives can't say. Every time you open that knife though, smile. Great picture and a great lanyard too. Thanks, Joe. Vote on this one in the poll. And the last picture we got here is from the Inca Pirate over on Instagram, and he's got the Williamson 07. Now, I love Mikkel Williamson. I think he's one of the designers that floats under the radar, and he came out with the Williamson Copenhagen line this year, which are some pretty budget-friendly production knives that you can get. And look at this thing, you're getting a bar lock, you're getting that beautiful like fish scale textured handle, and it is just a good looking knife. And in the hand, it feels even better. That is a knife that wants to go to work, and it's like 50 bucks too. There's really not a lot to not like about it. And the Inca Pirate's a great photographer too. I mean, just look at this. Look at that crook in the wood and the way the knife sticks in the handle. Oh, great shot. Vote on this one in the poll. That one might get my vote. All right, now we're gonna have a quick message from Dallas and we'll be right back.
What's up, folks? Dallas from Blade HQ. I'm here to talk to you about BladeHQ.com. We have one of the largest selections of EDC gear, knives, pouches, outdoor gear. Again, knives, because we're knives. Who doesn't love knives? Also, I want you to stay tuned to the end of the video. I want to see what the best-selling new knife is for 2022 so far. George is going to let us know. Let's go check it out.
Thanks, Dallas. So this last category we've got here on the table is some staff picks. These were our favorite knives from Blade HQ from this year. And we're gonna start that section off with the Gerber Sedulo. Now I took this around and handed it to a few people and had them hold it and like, that feels like a Benchmade. But that's a Gerber. It's made in the USA. It has an S30V blade and a bar lock and that nice textured FRN handle. And you'll find a lot of those features on Benchmade as well. But this just shows, in my opinion, that Gerber can run with the big boys, if that makes any sense. They've been the kings of the sub $100 price point for the last few years, but this shows they are ready to step it up into a premium level. And right now it's on sale for $109 on BladeHQ.com, so check that one out. Next up, we have the ASK, American Service Knife and Tool, Jefferson. Now this is sort of the luxury Swiss Army knife. Made in the USA, and there's so many little details that went into this. They sat down with the maker over at Blade Show, and he talked about the grind and how he consulted Jack Wolf on the half stops and how they made everything layered just perfectly so it's not too slim. They made it user serviceable. There's a world of possibilities with even building your own custom multi-tool with the ASK Jefferson. An S45VN on the blade. It's a little spendy, but I think it's worth it if you really love a slip joint multi-tool. Next up, probably the slimmest, lightest knife on the table. There's the Boker Slike. Now this one's a manual OTF, and I can see a few reasons why you might carry this. First of all, even though it's a dagger, it's slow enough and it's like slim enough that it doesn't really have any political incorrectness to it. Also, it could be a last ditch knife for you because it's so slim and it has this nice deep carry pocket clip, maybe tuck it inside your waistband. But my personal favorite thing is this half stop in it. If you ever need a blade that's short, like you're trying to maybe cut something out like it's an X-Acto knife or something like that, I would not shy away from this guy right here. VG10 steel, a nice aluminum frame with a G10 front. This is going for $60 at BladeHQ.com. If we don't see a lot of knives like this, and that's why I made the list. Next up, this one's sort of standing in for its whole brand. Reiff Knives were new this year, and I think they filled a spot that was very much needed in the survival outdoor world. You have a lot of stuff that's sort of the budget friendly, like Mora, and then you get into that 100-ish price point where you get to SE and tops. But when you want to get extra luxury with your bushcraft knife, there weren't really many options, and that's where Reiff came in. USA made, 3V steel, these beautiful contour G10 handles. This one's the F3XC, it's my personal favorite. These are ready for a camp out or a hike or any outdoor adventure you're going on, and they can take anything you can give them. a really great choice if you're willing to spend some coin and get one of the top of the line fixed blades on the market. And the last one on the table is the Knafs Lander. Now this one made the list because I hope it is indicative of things to come. You're getting a really great blade steel and a really great small package that can fit a hand. It's around $50, and this is designed by Ben Peterson, and he designed this with open source scales. So if you have a CNC mill or a 3D printer, you can make whatever scales you want for this. It's really a choose your own adventure knife. And I love it. And it's just such a great, well thought out thing that can be had for so little money. And I think that is just the best thing about knives these days, is you can get a really great knife for not a lot of money. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The best-selling new knife of 2022 is, I was right when I guessed, is the Civivi Conspirator. This is a little bit bigger than I thought you guys were gonna pick a knife for. I thought you guys are into 3 inches, but this one's a little bit bigger, big handle, but I have only good things to say about this. First of all, the pocket clip. Look how slim and deep that thing rides. A nice micarta handle that grips the hand really well. A drop shutty action for the ages. A Nitro V blade that can be flipped or flicked. A button lock action. Best of all, like $80 on BladeHQ.com. No wonder this thing sold so well. It's beautifully made, it has great tolerances, great build quality, great materials, and best of all, a great price. And you guys bought a ton of them this year. Well, that's all the knives we have on the table today. Do you guys own any of these? I'm guessing you do. I've seen the sales data. What do you think? Which one was your favorite new knife of 2022? And let me know on this Karambit. I think it's a great EDC knife. If you guys tell me it is, I'll carry it for a week and I'll tell you how it goes. Other than that, like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you enjoy knife content, why don't you subscribe to Blade HQ and make it a part of your YouTube experience? And with that, we'll see you on the next one.